Alright, welcome back to Compound Racing. In this episode, we have to do things a little differently. Because I'm sure, like most of you, you have annoying family members that can't help themselves, can't work on their own stuff, and you have to jump in and fix it for them. So, on this episode, we are going to be working on a 2015 Ford Fusion, putting new lights on it. I've just been told it's a 2016 Ford Fusion, and we're putting new lights, LED headlights, and fog lights in it. And from my understanding, I have done zero research on this, but you have to pull the bumper off, apparently. So if we have to, that's what we'll do. If not, we'll try to find shortcuts around that. But, yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into that. So you start by removing the Torx bolts on the top of the bumper cover, and then I pulled the wheel off, and then the inner fender liner. Also, the bolts on the top of the headlight that you can see. I'll go into more detail of how we got the bumper cover off later on. That was a struggle. We pulled out the inner wheel well in here, and then up in here, there was two bolts over here that you just loosen up, and then it just clamps the bumper cover on. And then we're able to pull it out enough that we could get at this here. This is the headlight adjuster. Now that I'm rewatching this, that's probably not a headlight adjuster. It's probably just another clip that holds the headlight in place, but we didn't want a chance breaking it, so we just unbolted it. And that bolts down in here. I know it's difficult to see. It's right here. That right there. Yeah, right here. So believe it or not, with someone holding it and pulling it out, we were able to get it. It was not easy, I will say that. This is absolutely foolish that it's this difficult to do. So here, this has access to the headlights now. We can pull them out, being able to see, get everything back together the way it's supposed to be, and it should be good. And we're also going to be doing her fog lights, which is right there. You can see the back of the housing right here. So that seems pretty more straightforward. All right, we'll get back to this right now. And while we're doing all of this, Justin is over here just creating magic.
Hold on, look at that side.
Oh my God. So he is making his shifter ends for his 140cc shifter cart build. He's copying me with the same way I did it. But it's his first time, so we'll give him some slack.
Well, so what happened was...
You were what happened.
I was going to weld, and I forgot to turn the gas on, so I was wondering why it just kept melting through everything.
Speaking of, you got the gas running right now. You're wasting my gas.
Well, you started talking to me.
Well, you could have shut the gas off.
And that's what happened, and then I forgot to turn it back on, and I melted everything.
Cut it off, redo it. It's long enough.
Now that I'm starting on this side.
Yeah. Did you change the settings?
Yes.
Okay. So
I turned it to a less thick metal.
Concentrate your heat into the bolt, or into the nut.
Because it's thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Paul told me.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on in the garage, but we'll get back to this. And even with the headlight out, it was tricky to get the bulbs out and the new ones in. Pulling the bumper cover is definitely the easier option.
Hear that, guys?
Alright, so that headlight is almost back together. If you're going to do LED bulbs on a 2016 Fusion, just pull the bumper cover away and pull the headlights out. It is going to make your life a lot easier. If you're just going to replace with stock bulbs, you can do it. I was able to reach down in here and pull the bulb out without removing the headlight. So it is possible. I haven't tried to get it back in, so that might be a whole nother story. But if you're switching to LEDs, which most people do nowadays, just pull the headlight. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So, alright, we'll get back to it and jump onto the other side. You want to start with the bottom two clips that mount the bumper cover to the splash guard, then move into the inner fender well, taking out the clips and then the two nuts that hold that in place. You can peel that away, and that'll gain you access to the two bolts that hold the bumper cover to the fender. And then you should be able to pry the bumper out enough to be able to gain access to the headlight adjuster bolts to pull that out. So if you're doing LED bulbs on these, this is the hardest part. So if you get this is the high beam, right? So the high beam bulb, if you get the one that has the fan on it, it's very tight in here to get in. We got it in on the driver's side, but the passenger side might be a little different. Alright, and also, when you go to put this spring clip back on, you have to, normally it would just like latch on and then shut like that, which you can easily do, and then plug the light in. But because that fan is in the way on this, you have to run it like around it and then clip it in. So it's quite tricky, but it is possible. So here I was able to get the LED bulbs into the factory housing. However, I lost the footage to show the finished product, but as you can imagine, it's a tight fit, but it does all fit in there. So next, we just put the bumper cover back on after putting the headlight in, and you want to make sure you get the bumper cover bolts up to the fender done, or else you'll end up having to take it back apart. Ask me how I know. Alright, so it's all done, back together. They do look nice. So, it's not the easiest thing in the world to change bulbs on these, but it's not horrible, so. But it's all done, so thank you, Tanisha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Justin kind of helped, and
Yeah.
Matt's going to the bathroom. But yeah, so we're all done. That's going to do it for this episode of Compound Racing. Thanks for watching.
F350 is next.
Yep, I influenced Justin to want to change over to LEDs too, so you'll get that on a truck version as well.
We're not doing that. All right, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next one.